I like that. Well, he says Šeško's ready to play. We'll see if he's going to start. I mean, Carlton, what have you seen of Benjamin Šeško? And do you think he's a player that Man United needed?
He's a dynamic player. He's one that wants to go out there and just get goals. You can see, as soon as he's got the ball at his feet, he's just looking where the goal is. And that's what Man United need. They need someone that could put the ball in the onion bag, as they say. So, listen, they've given Højlund a massive chance. I think the chance came a little bit too early. So having someone like Šeško that's got the experience in Europe as well. And listen, you've got to look at, it's not easy for Manchester United, as people would think it is, but to attract the best players. So right now, they've only got Šeško, which is one of the best players actually at the moment in his position. And it just shows you they still do have a little bit of pull. You know, so it's more than just getting the striker that they wanted. It's more than that. It's more to say that, okay, we're still about, and we'll see what we can do next window when we look into the horizon, thinking, yeah, we're going to achieve something this year.
He is a bit younger, obviously. You know, comparing the two between Gyökeres and Šeško, he is obviously younger than Gyökeres and a little bit more raw, as people would say. Do you think Man United needed a player that is someone that develops over time, or did they need someone to come in straight away and do the business?
Well, it depends what their policy is at the moment. Do they want to grow? Because listen, they had Højlund there as the number one for quite a while. He was so young, 19, 20 at the time.
We've seen it, that project striker.
That was supposed to be a project, but it looks like they've ditched that project now and they've gone to a new one. Someone that's willing to do the things that probably Højlund couldn't do. So that's where they've probably gone wrong in the past with their recruitment. But this one, I think, hopefully they're getting their recruitment right. Šeško was sorted after. I know Arsenal were after him. I know a few other teams that were after him as well. But at the same time, it's a massive scalp for Manchester United, because I feel that this boy's got something to give later on in his career as well.
100%. Andy, going into any new team as a striker, how long does it really take to develop those connections with your teammates?
I think, like you say, every player wants to walk into a dressing room and fit straight away, and sometimes you can try too hard and it not work. And I think as soon as you get in there on the pitch, you feel the ball, feel your teammates, know what it's about. You know, for me, I've always looked at the wingers, where they're going to cross the ball, where they're going to get it into me, and that's an immediate thing that you do. You just look around the dressing room. He's going to give me a great ball.
Goals?
He's going to slot the ball in for me, and
so it's picking up that person.
It's kind of picking the connection that you see in the training ground and leading up to the game, and just getting them close to you and saying, "Come on." Yeah. Keep putting them in for me.
I like it. Finding your best mate.
My bonus.
Yeah. There you go. Well, one of the most intriguing aspects of this is that both clubs were interested in both strikers. So, who has got the better deal? And did they end up at the right clubs? To find out, I asked renowned football tactico Pythagoras in Boots to look into it.
Statistically, there's only really one winner. Gyökeres is one of the most efficient and threatening strikers in world football, scoring at more than a goal a game. 52.5% shot accuracy, 30% conversion rate to Šeško's 20%. He's also receiving more progressive passes, and he just gets more touches in the penalty area. In terms of the eye test, it's Šeško that takes your breath away. He's the one that could attain that higher ceiling with shades of Marco van Basten, but also he doesn't really get into the box that much. He's scoring almost 1 in 2 games. He's not really breached past 15 goals in the Bundesliga. So for him to be projected as, say, a 30-goal a season in the Premier League, that's going to be a project. That's not something that's going to happen overnight. One thing to note, however, is that Arsenal aren't going to generate as many fast breaks as Sporting Lisbon. Sporting were much faster in terms of getting the ball from back to front, and that caught teams off guard. And you often saw Gyökeres running at defenders who were backpedaling and then using that momentum that he had to then go on and score goals. I think with Arsenal, he's going to face more settled defenses, and that's not something that he's necessarily as good at. Moving on to the aerial side of the game, I think there's been premature concerns about Gyökeres' heading ability. I think what he's adept at is finding little pockets inside the box, getting that run ahead of centre-backs. And I think where Šeško is superior is that he's better in aerial duels, long balls coming in. He's someone who can leap up so high with a leap that even Michael Jordan would be proud of. And he can cushion those headers back into the midfield and help his team retain possession, but also inside the box. He's more capable of direct confrontation with centre-backs. So he's not necessarily always looking to just peel off. If there's a ball hit to the back stick, for example, and he's got people tugging at him, he's someone that can jump up and, muscle those guys up and get that header to the far post. So I think his range of heading is going to be superior, and generally in open play, he's going to be more impactful, but that doesn't mean Gyökeres is no slouch. Finally, moving on to link-up play. Now, for me, Gyökeres reminds me a little bit of Ollie Watkins, someone that loves to roam into wide channels, generates a lot of shot-creating actions and assists for his teammates that are running in support. That's when their creative game comes to the fore. Against settled defenses, they're not going to be threading through balls and being that false nine type of centre-forward. In contrast, Seško is more of a typical centre-forward, and there's shades of Zlatan in terms of how he brings that ball down on his chest, those sort of skillful type of backheeled layoffs that he does. But this is where the comparison falls short. Seško, for me, sometimes the touch isn't quite there. And the main frustrating thing about Seško is sometimes the decision-making. Like, he's brought the ball down, he's got runners around him, and instead of just playing that ball through to the right player, he'll chop back, he'll do a skill, he then pass it to the wrong player, and then he just kills the attack dead. So these type of decision-making errors need to improve. In conclusion, we have two very contrasting style of forwards, both at very different stages of their career. I think if Gyökeres is able to replicate the same form that he showed at Sporting at Arsenal, and tactically there's adjustments made from him as well as Arsenal, then he should, in theory, be more effective in the short term. However, in the long term, if Seško hasn't superseded Gyökeres' legacy as an overall footballer, there's definitely question marks to be had, because I think, frankly, in terms of his ceiling, it's a lot higher. Anyway, hope that helped, Roman. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks very much, mate. Well, look, we've seen a player kind of comparison there about the two strikers. I guess for both of you guys, you've got, I guess, Arsenal trying to maybe play a more direct game now, through balls in to try and get that ball in behind for Gyökeres. Maybe with Seško, he's got Mbeumo, he's got Cunha, who can fit those balls into the box, as you say, where you want it. As your type of striker, what side would you prefer to be in? Would you prefer to be in a Man United or an Arsenal?
I was just saying with Andy, I'm thinking, just as Andy was touching on before, he was talking about, you go into the dressing room, you go look around, who's going to get me goals? Yeah. So for me, when I'm looking at the dressing room, you got Saka in the Arsenal team. They probably had a few. You got Martinelli, but Saka's probably the only one I could say can cross a ball in, a lovely ball in for a striker in the Arsenal squad. But then you look at Manchester United, and you've got Cunha that can swing it in. You've got Mbeumo who can swing it in. Got a few players and wing-backs as well that can swing it in as well. So I think there's more opportunities to be playing in Manchester United. And I was saying that Seško is probably our type of striker, where we hold up play, try and connect, strong in the air. So I think Manchester United would be the place for me to go. I don't know about you. You might still fancy the Arsenal role.
What would you prefer? You're just looking.
I can't speak for Andy.
I'm with Corley. Like, as soon as the ball gets in the box, that's exactly what I wanted, and that's what Man United are about, to get the balls in. And yeah, for me, I would be exactly the same as him.
Just looking. I love this chat. It's just looking for the best mate in the squad. That's all you're looking for.
Listen,
the whole time.
We might not even have to win the league, but I've got 40 goals.
I think that's the connection that you need if you want to score goals. If you look around your team and see who's there and see who can deliver for you and put it where you want it.